So, you look something like this. But you feel something like this. Now, that's because of your calves. How do we fix it? First things first, I just want to thank you guys so much for getting me to 100 subscribers. We just hit that a few weeks ago, and I really appreciate you guys watching my videos through the entirety, liking, throwing comments down below. I've received a lot of DMs and really a lot of support from you guys, and I really do genuinely appreciate it. Thank you so much. Like the video, subscribe. Let's get back to it. Your calves are made up of two main muscles. Your gastrocnemius, which is the posterior part of the calf, and then your larger but underlying soleus muscle. The calves are made up of type 1 muscle fibers, otherwise known as slow twitch muscle fibers. This means they are meant for light to moderate intensity exercises or duration practices such as standing or walking. Both of these muscles are activated through plantar flexion. This means you're basically pointing your toes into the ground, raising your body up. So now that we talked about the anatomy of the calves, let's talk about why you still have chicken legs. Most people will hit a whole entire leg day and they won't even train calves at the end, and they just assume because they're hitting their leg day that their calves are also growing. For example, when you're doing leg curls, you tend to have plantar flexion in your toes during those leg curls, during those reps. The thing is, it works the very top of the calf where the calf is inserted. However, it's not a direct workout for the calves. You also might be blaming it on your genetics, but how could you really know if you haven't even tried? Think about this. A lot of my viewers are out of high school, in college, adults now. They don't play sports as much anymore. Think about how often when you were in high school or middle school and you were doing a layup in basketball, think about how often you were jumping up off of that calf. And now, you aren't doing that as much anymore. Therefore, you experience a little bit of atrophy in your calves, and you're like, how come they're not as big as they used to be? How come they are not growing like they used to? People don't train their calves like they do for their chest or their back. They tend to skimp out a lot on it. They think because it's the end of their workout, they don't have to push as hard, they're burnt out, they're exhausted, it doesn't need as much work as the other muscles do. The thing is, if you really want to grow them, you have to push for them. You have to work for it. So now that I told you what all you're doing wrong, let's talk about what you can do to experience this progress and truly grow your calves. First of all, let's try to get a full range of motion in when you are doing calf raises, whether it be seated or standing calf raises. This means that when you go all the way down, you feel a slight stretch in your calves. So with the full range of motion, you want to bring your calves down to where you actually feel a stretch. If you were to just go halfway and then shoot up from halfway, just like you're normally standing, this would be like doing half reps for bench or for squat. What you want to do, get the stretch, go all the way down, and then go up. So I recommend starting off in your house or somewhere with a staircase and practicing with just your body weight. Get on the balls of your feet, on your stairs, balls of your feet, hang onto a railing, wall, anything like that, and practice getting that full range of motion with just your body weight. When you go up on the concentric, try practicing holding for about 1 to 2 seconds to get a really nice squeeze in there. That'll definitely help. So you get the full stretch at the bottom, 1 to 2 seconds at the top, and then repeat from anywhere between about 6 to 30 reps, depending on whether you're using body weight or not, and then progressing towards standing or sitting calf raises with machines. You can also go with the single leg method to prevent muscle imbalances and muscular asymmetry. By standing on the balls of your feet on the edge of the step and pointing your toes outward, you end up working the medial calf a little bit more. By standing on the edge of the step and pointing your toes a little bit inward, you work the lateral part of your calf. Although pointing your toes inward and outward does target the calves, the specific part of the calves a little bit more. It does make a very minimal difference in the results of your training, as opposed to if you were just doing whatever feels comfortable for you and you're able to push that way a lot better. One thing to remember when you are on the seated calf machine is that you don't want to be leaning back with the weight, kind of trying to pull it up and use the momentum. You want to work your calves on it, not your upper body. So now that we all know how to grow our calves, we could aspire to be more like this guy.